Yes, viewers, good day, good day. We are reporting to you live from the Whk Gymnasium rugby field here, where we are here for the Standard Bank NSSR Super League. We have a wonderful match that is lined up to take place here, and this is the winners of last year's Super League, which is Whk Gymnasium's Lions taking on Whk Afrikaans Private School. I don't know if you watched the final last season, but it was a cracker of a match where we saw Whk Gymnasium win the game in the dying minutes of the game. So we are set and ready for this big game in the Super League. Well, back to you guys in studio.
This month on DSTV Premium, Nora is back as life in the Big Apple continues to surprise her and her outrageous family and friends.
I have an idea.
You do?
Two families battle for the coveted camp trophy in this hilarious family-friendly movie.
That was fun.
That was something.
And F1 hits the tarmac as Red Bull continues their push for dominance.
Absolutely epic!
It's your moment to be entertained by staying connected to DSTV Premium.
Muscle and joint pain should not be the reason you can't perform at your best.
Norflex gel.
It also shouldn't be the reason you miss that important deadline.
Norflex gel.
Or miss those precious moments that matter the most.
Norflex gel.
Norflex gel penetrates through the skin, numbing the area and relieving pain and inflammation. Norflex gel is now available in the pharmacy aisle and in supermarkets. New Norflex gel Fort is available for stronger anti-inflammatory action.
Beat the pain with Norflex gel.
It is Friday the 21st of July, and what a good time to be enjoying some good old rugby. NSSR Rugby League, Whk Gymnasium taking on Whk Afrikaans Private School. Both of these schools have certainly proven their respective metals over the last couple of years. It'll be good to see them clash yet again today. But speaking of the last couple of years, let's get into some highlights and see how Whk Gymnasium did against Walvis Bay Private School in 2022. Stepping on are the visitors, Walvis Bay Private High School. Stepping up at Whk Gymnasium, they have plenty of support. They are not alone. And here is the home team led by their captain, Janneman Brand. Live on NTV, Whk Gymnasium ready to take on Walvis Bay Private High School. captain, number 8 there, Crano Bauer. Once again being brought to the ground. Quick chip, but is it a wise one? Probably not. I mean, if you're playing a territory game, wise move. Possession game, not so much. It's going to be a 22. Oh! Swing back, referee penalized Whk Gymnasium. And Walvish Bay is going to go for post. Gets his run going. It's up. And it's over. First 3 points for Walvish Bay Private School off the boot of Michael Koopman. Gymnasium ball in. Ball pops out. Whk running across the line. That is a try for Whk Gymnasium coming through from the scrum half. Alessandro Whk. Stunning work there. Ball goes up for Gymnasium. The rolling ball is rolling. It is rolling. It is over the line, but can it come down? Yes, it is a try for Whk Gymnasium. Who is the try scorer? Who is the try scorer? I see a ball in the hand there. Number 7, Whk Gymnasium scoring the try. Jorik Moore. Clean. Whk Gymnasium swinging the ball out. Gymnasium running the ball. They've got a bit of an overlap. Can they make use of it? Oh, beautiful dummy over there. Swinging the back in. Ball back into the number 15. It is a Gymnasium try from Divan Stein. Beautiful line play from Whk Gymnasium. Continuing with the plays. Gymnasium, beautiful run at the wing there by Stein. Gymnasium scoring the try is the number 11, Luhandro Deval. Ball goes up. And it's over. William Claassen. Ooh, beautiful Walvish Bay on the attack. Edging towards the line. Wonderful run there by Walvish Bay. Strong challenges. Walvish Bay, number 5. He looks like he's over the line. Referee says nothing, so he's not. This is a Walvish Bay try from the number 9, J.D. Rousseau. Steps forward, he kicks up. And it goes through. Wow! Golden boot, if you will. Michael Koopman adding 2 points to the Walvish Bay scoreline. J.D. Rousseau swinging the ball out. Quick pace from Walvish Bay from the number 10. That is Michael Koopman. He chips the ball. He is tackled. After chipping the ball, that is definitely a penalty. The referee is going to usher a yellow card without a doubt. Walvish Bay back on the attack. Strong run there from the number 5, Matthew Quinn. Walvish Bay just edging towards the line. J.D. Rousseau. Over the line he goes, and his name is Crano Bauer, but Walvish Bay Private School may know him as Captain Fantastic. NSSR Super League Under 19 Rugby. Whk Gymnasium took on Walvish Bay Private School. The final score, Whk Gymnasium 31, Walvish Bay Private School 24. So Whk Gymnasium getting the best of Walvish Bay Private School in that clash. Now let's see how Windhoek Afrikaans Privaat School fared against Windhoek High School in 2022.
Affies, Winslow Olivier. Daar kom hulle. Die veld tennis van Wyk net agter hom die onderkaptein. Daar kom hulle een vir een, kom hulle uitgedraf daar. Heel laaste Andre Siepker. Kyk die fokus op die gesig. Daar kom hulle Affies, Winslow Olivier is hulle kaptein daar. Hy draf voor daar, kom ons kyk. Ja, kyk die gesigte. Baie emosie daar op daar. Andre Estreisen, hy draf ook op daar. Ja, waarskynlik het hulle hom nou net senter toe geskuif hier Andre Horizon. Kyk daar, voordraf hulle op daar, dis Joe Losberg, kyk hoe gefokus is hierdie manne. Hulle is hier om rugby te speel. Hulle is hier om rugby te speel, doodseker. Appele ingooi, dis Losberg, die kaptein wat grond toe gaan. Dan kom hy uit daar. En laat ons lekker uitgooi, is Jaden Kloete. Nog 'n Jaden vir hulle. Oeh, kyk net daar, skitterende werk daar deur Schoemans. Schoemans, daar gaan die 3 staan daar. Wat sê die skynsregter? Hy sê hulle gaan eers kyk daar of die bal nie aangeslaan was nie. Ek wonder daaraan, as hy nie aangeslaan was nie, dan is hierdie 'n skitterende 3 vir Whk Affies. Ja, ek dink die 3 staan nie. Ek hy was aangeslaan geweest daar toe hy met die hande gekry het. Ek dink hulle was al daar nie. Kom hulle met hom Jaden Kloete. Ek het hom vinnig skuif hulle die bal daar aan alle buite senter toe. Dis Armand Kotse. Hulle grond toe. Moller is nou die skramskakel. Joe Losberg. Oh, kyk vir Joe Losberg. Baie goed opgevolg daar. Joe Losberg, hy bly saam hardloop. Altyd belangrik daar. Nou is dit Kloete. Hy gee dan Moller toe. Moller, daar's 'n groot manne oor. Daar's 'n klaar manne oor daar. En as VIS hulle val oor en hulle druk die 3 daar. Dis Jürgen Meyer, lyk dit vir my wat daar die 3 druk. Vinnig. Andre Sieker. Baie goeie skop veld op. Andre Sieker. Skitterende skop. Kyk vir VIS. Hulle hardloop van elke hoekie af. JP Rix, hy's op die veld. Hy sit weer eens Armand Kotse. Kyk aan die ander kant is Meyer weer. Meyer is baie vinnig. Hy druk sy tweede 3 weer daar in die hoekie. Jürgen Meyer, skitterende rugby wat hy speel op hierdie stadium. Die man wat die duikslag uitgevoer het, hy moet wegrol, hy het die duikslag uitgevoer en hy dadelik die bal probeer op sy speel. Genoeg tyd gegee nie. Ons kyk nou Affies, ek dink hulle het baie veel van 'n keuse nie. Hulle sal moet heel waarskynlik kantlyn toe gaan of hulle gaan hom net tik en hardloop. Ja, dis wat hulle doen. Delano van der Berg is die man wat die 3 druk daar. Delano van der Berg, kliphardaker van hulle, hy druk die 3 daarso. Gaan hulle maak daar, ek dink hulle beduie daar, kom ons kop hom net uit. Hier tog nie Delano van der Berg, hy is die man waartoe hulle gaan, Delano van der Berg. En hy tweede 3 druk. Sê die skynsregter, is nog nie nou oor die doellyn nie. Dan kry die bal uit daar. Laag gaan hulle daar in, ek dink daar die 3 is gedruk. Skitterend Affies. Daar kommunikasiegaping daar tussen die VIS-spelers. Daar kom hulle nou VIS. Wat maak hulle hierdie bal? Dink ek het hulle tog aangeslaan. Daar's 'n man wat aardgrond toe gebring word. Hy sê hulle was onkant geweest daar. As VIS. Hulle wil daar die 1 puntjie voorkom. Dit is 9 minute 8,5 minute reeds verstreek. Ja, hy's daar. Hulle deur hulle neuse voor daar. 'n keer daarop Walter Otto, hier kom hulle met Tom. O, daar was hoog geweest verseker. Ek het vir my hy die Saks het ook so gedink. Hy's aan hy daar van 'n Merwe Tromp. Hulle dra hom terug. Hy's nie so swaar, hy's 'n ligte mannetjie. Dan ruk hulle die bal af daar by hom Reis Veres. Ja, die skynsregter sal nou blaas heel waarskynlik vir die strafskop. Gevaarlike duikslag geweest daar nie.
Just under 18 minutes left and Affies is going for post.
Kom toe. Ja, hy maak hier 'n fout nie. Andre Sieker. Skitterende lyne word daar nou gehardloop. Kyk net daar. Affies, bal wat verlore gegaan het daar, maar tog nie. Nou gaan meneer Zaidi Saks terugkom, daar waar die strafskop lank voordeel gespeel. Dis nie regtig voordeel nie. Daar lê een van die VIS manne, lyk my is net krampe op die naad van sy rug. Nou kom Andre Sieker vorentoe. Maak met hierdie ene. Ja, hy's tussen die pale deur. Andre Sieker, jou doorring. Ons van Whk is ook 'n koelkop speler op die veld. Lang kaptein geweest tot hy 'n blinde darmoperasie gehad het. Oeh, skitterend uit die lug uitgevat hierso. Sit Roan Jansen van Rensburg geweest, dis inderdaad hy. Roan Jansen van Rensburg VIS kan hom speel. Minder as 9 minute wat oorbly die wedstryd. Kyk net hierdie ene. Eyster Andre Sieker. Hierdie keer weer 'n bietjie nader. Vir die ou wat die weggerol het hier.
Under 2 minutes left.
Jaden Kloete speel hulle vinnig daar. Wie is die man daar? As nommer 19. As Henry Otto. Hy val daaroor, gaan hierdie wedstryd op 'n 1 punt eindig. Ja, hier sou hulle bepaal nou. Dis die einde
That's
van
the end of the
wedstryd.
game.
Is Affies, volgende naweek is die finaal der finale, 'n riller van 'n finaal wat volgende naweek vir ons was. Affies 21-20. Hoe belangrik was daardie strafskoppe nie tog van Andrei Siepter nie. Hy het hulle van 'n agterstand in 'n voorsprong aangebring en toe is hulle 8 punte voor en hulle daaraan vasgeklou gehad en kyk net daar, 21-20.
And the two teams that will be clashing today are certainly very familiar with each other's work. Last year, they managed to play well enough in the season to meet in the final. So certainly, like I said, not strangers to each other. So let's see how the 2022 final played out between Whk Gymnasium and Whk Afrikaans Privaatskool.
Affies, Winslow Olivier, daar kom hulle. Die veld tennis van Whk net agter hom die onderkaptein, daar kom hulle 1 vir 1, kom hulle uitgedraf daar, heel laaste Andrei Siepker. Kyk die fokus op die gesigte. Daar kom hulle Schoemans groep. Is die Schoemans groep Whk Gymnasium, Leo soos hulle bekend staan. Dan kom hulle hier in hulle eie, op hulle eie veld. Daar agter, as heel wat manne daar agter. Nou kry die bal onder beheer. Dis Jandrey Estreisen, hy kry die bal onder beheer. Nou gooi die bal wild weg daarvan. Is Jurgens as die man wat moet gaan red daar. Affies, hy kry die bal gered daar. Alles agter toe. Daar's 'n gymspeler wat vra, meneer die skynsregter. Hoe nou? Nou lyk dit vir my tog daar het hulle wat het lag kry. Ja, hulle sê dis ons onkant gewees. Strafskop daar 'n bietjie gemelk. Nou daar op sy maag gedraai. Ja, dis inderdaad, sy pa was reg, die skopper lyk reg. Dis 3 punte vir JW Versaagie en Whk Gymnasium, 'n bal wat reg op daar, net op hy reg daar. Tennis van Whk en is van 'n Merwe Tromp. Hy's hoor die doellyn, wat sê die skynsregter? Nou moet ons kry daar van 'n nie van 'n Merwe Tromp, nie Nico Tromp. Houer Boetie is daar oor die lyn, wat sê hy daar? Hy gaan die 3 toeken. Die 3 gaan staan daar is Nico Tromp. Wat die eerste 3 druk van die wedstryd en ook vir Affies. Die strafskop die JW Versaagie, hy verander van rigting. Kom hy terug hier aan die ander kant toe. Kyk daar, dis ja, die man wat lekker hardloop. Hy het amper gedink hy gaan dwars deur hardloop, maar toe nie. Was Stefan Gildenhuys. Hy was op pad doellyn toe gewees, maar hy's laag gevat daar net voor die doellyn onder die pale. Lyk hulle hom plat daar. Nou gee hulle die bal uit daar na Herman Kutse toe. Meneer Zaid Isak sê hy kan die 3 gee. Hy gee die 3 daar. Goeie diens gedoen het daar vir die tweede span. Hy's nou hier in die eerste span. As Andro van Whk wat seer gekry het. Daar's 'n man wat hulle nou bietjie ver laat hardloop het. Inderdaad, laat hulle hom te ver hardloop. Is Jandrey Estreisen wat van nêrens en niks afkom nie en hy druk die 3 vir Affies. Kyk hulle nou. Eintlik is dit nou gelyk op 13-13. 13-13. Ja, dis van Ryan Monungu staan hy skud sy kop. Ek dink ook ek gaan dit maak hier op Ryan. Hy sê ken mos die mannetjie en hy was eintlik reg geweest daar. Kyk af van is Jurgens. Jandrey Estreisen. Hy druk sy 3, Jandrey Estreisen. En die 3 gaan staan daar. Kyk daar Jandrey Estreisen. Goud werd. Hulle neem die voorsprong nou met 5 punte. Die telling word 18-13 vir Affies. Hendrik Schrader, hy gooi die bal in daar, hooggerang deur Janeman Brand. Weer eens kry hy 'n rolmal beweging, dadelik kry hy hom aan die gang weer. Janeman Brand, hy is die man wat hom bestuur daar. Kom ons kyk aan hom weer ophou. Is SG Marits, hy is in die middel van die weer eens daar is SG Marits. Nou gaan hulle oor, hulle druk die 3. As Whk Gymnasium hierdie keer werk hulle rolmal vir hulle en hulle druk die 3 daar. Dit vir Affies toegelaat het nou net. Ja, maar dis die skynsregter, die van Steyn, hy kry hom nie daar nie, hy word uitgeduik daar. Plan was gewees om die bal daar vir Loendro de Waal te gee. Nou is daar die manne wat bietjie groet. Die Romario de Koker dadelik sy vlag daaruit. Ons hulle Olivier. Hy sê vir Tenis van Wyk, hy gaan nie 'n kaart gee nie. Tenis van Wyk sê is reg meneer Isaacs, as jy so sê. Isaac om te stry. Wat het daar gebeur? As moeilik as nou 'n speler in die pad gewees nie, teken gesien nie, lyk my die man is geloop was onder die bal. Dit sê JW Visagi, ek dink hy sê hy gaan kwale toe skop. Gaan hy kantlyn toe gaan en hy gaan paale toe gaan. So seker 6 of 7 minute. Hierdie keer kies hy koers paale toe. Maak hy 'n fout nie. Dis 3 punte werd vir hom. JW Visagi wat gaan breek, Denver Bekes, was dit nie beter gewees om vir JW Visagi op sy voete daar te hê nie. En die lyn te hê nie. Affies moet nou keer vir al wat hulle werd is, so 3 nou en dis nie eens hier verby vir hulle. As nog altyd daar is 'n gimnasium daar op die grond. Op die grond daar, het sê die skynsregter daar, drama op drama. Hy het nog nie op sy fluitjie geblaas nie. Ook op die bal uit daar, Kambombo, hy is nou die stramskakel, die groot man Herman Kutsie. Hy word vasgevat daar deur die groot man en nou sit is 'n strafskop. Gaan Whk Gymnasium Affies se harte breek hier aan die einde. As hy die Isaacs. Gymnasium, hulle 4 al fees inderdaad so. Inderdaad, JW Visagi, hy klits om tussen die pale deur. Om hy telling weer net met daai 1 punt verskil te maak. En dis al wat hulle nodig gehad het om te wen daar. Die eindvlekkie al geblaas, ek is nie seker nie, ek dink nie so nie, die toeter het gegaan. Eindtelling 24-23, 24-23. Dit is waarmee hulle gewen het, Whk Gymnasium.
So, Whk Gymnasium getting the best of Affies in last year's final. Speaking of Affies, Andrew Pullman managed to catch up with their coach, Johan Simon. Have a look.
Reg, ons is saam met Whk Affies se afrigter, Johan Simon. So Johan, vroeg in die seisoen, lekker groot wedstryd altyd teen Whk Gymnasium, die 2 spanne wat laas jaar in die finaal gespeel het. Wat is jou siening van vandag se wedstryd?
Ja, wat nee, Andrew is 'n voorreg om weer eens te kan sê ons kan weer rugby speel vir 'n slag. So ja nee, saam met ons en hulle is dit natuurlik mos altyd maar 'n groot wedstryd en 'n taai wedstryd. So verwag niks minder nie.
So hoe die week se voorbereiding vir julle verloop in terme van ouens wat miskien ingekom het of uit is of so nie beskikbaar is nie?
Ja, ek het vir Van der Merwe Tromp laasweek met die International Week het ek hom 'n bietjie laat rus. Hy het op die akademieweek so klein bietjie van sy skouer seer gemaak, so hy kom terug vir my op nommer 10. My een flankie wat laasweek begin het siek geraak, maar ek het hom by die nie in die beginspan gehad nie. So nee, verder is ons alright. Ons is aan die gang.
Okay, jy het ook is dit Roelof Venter se naam genoem?
O ja, ekskuus. Ja, Roelof Venter het by die International Week het hy sy beentjies in sy oor gebreek. So hy is uit vir so 3 weke. Maar ons het by die laaste 2 wedstryde het ons sonder hom gespeel. So ja, so hy is ook uit.
Okay, en dan aan die kant van Whk Gymnasium, so Heinrich Geldnys wat laas jaar vir julle gespeel het, wat dan nou vandag op die reservebank is vir Whk Gymnasium, die enige gedagtes daar rondom.
Ag nee, wat 'n kind besluit ons maar waar hy gemaklik voel en Heinrich het gevoel ja, maar hy wil graag terugkom na Whk Gymnasium toe. Is nou nie iets wat ek kan keer of wat ook al nie en dit is sy keuse op jou en vir die dag. So nee, Whk Gymnasium het altyd diepte. Dit sal altyd maar 'n moeilike wedstryd wees. So ek verwag niks minder nie.
Okay, so watter aspekte dink jy van die wedstryd dink jy kan vandag miskien deurslaggewend wees wat die uitslag betref?
Soos ons almal maar weet, het Whk Gymnasium is hulle baie goed met hulle dryfmale. So ons het baie hard gewerk hierdie week daaraan om dit 'n bietjie te kan counter, as ek die Engels kan gebruik. En dan ons wil natuurlik maar balbesit behou, soos wat ons baie goed is daarmee. As Affies die bal behou, is ons altyd gevaarlik. So nee, dit is maar die 2 aspekte wat ek dink wat die deurslag sal gee.
Dis hy. Ons sal 'n lekker warm wedstryd wees om te kyk. Ons sien uit daarna. Sterkte vir julle.
Baie dankie. Dankie. Dankie.
Andrew also had a chat with Jarman Brand about Whk Gymnasium's expectations heading into today's clash.
Reg, ons is hier saam met Whk Gymnasium se afrigter, Jarman Brand. So Jarman, is nog in die seisoen vir julle om 'n lekker groot wedstryd teen Whk Affies te speel.
Ja, middag Andrew. Dit is lekker. Sommer die begin van die seisoen die groot kanonne mekaar kry. Maar ja, dis waaroor dit gaan. Ek bedoel, hierdie kompetisie gaan om elke span te speel in die kompetisie in die Superliga. So een of ander tyd gaan dit gebeur. So vinniger hoe beter.
Ja, so okay, om miskien net op te kyk, julle 'n paar manne by die onder 18 akademieweek gehad. Julle het daarom almal teruggekry sonder beserings.
Ja, as 'n ou so kruimweek gehad het of 'n akademieweek gehad het, dan is hy baie dankbaar vir die kinders, maar ek dink dit is 'n groot dankbaarheid vir die span. As jy kan terugkom en daar was nie groot beserings nie. So ja, ons is baie dankbaar dat daar nie groot beserings was vir ons nie.
Okay, so julle het nou 3 manne wat die seisoen begin het saam met julle wat nou nie vandag hier is nie. Kan ons miskien net gou van die 3 manne?
Ja, ons het beserings en dan is daar ouetjie wat vir Namibia cricket speel, Whk Affies. So maar ons die beste wat wat beskikbaar is daar. So ons is vandag, dis wat die leeuspan vandag is.
So wat is jou vooruitsigte of jou planne vir hoe sien jy vandag se wedstryd verloop?
Andrew, ek dink as jy WAP speel, moet jy weet jy moet op al jou silinders loop. Daar's nie tyd vir rondstaan nie. Ek dink dit gaan 'n goeie uitdaging wees vandag. Ek dink hulle 'n lekker pak vir ons en dit is 'n lekker gebalanseerde span vir WAP. So nee, ek dink dit gaan 'n lekker wedstryd wees. Ek dink dit gaan 'n klipharde wedstryd wees. Soos niks minder gaan verwag word van WAP nie.
Nee, ons hoop so. Ons sien uit na die wedstryd en alles van die beste vir julle.
Baie dankie.
All right, so today's clash is as you see it. Whk Afrikaans Privaat School taking on Whk Gymnasium. Last time they were here, Whk Afrikaans Privaat School were certainly hoping for a better result. We'll see if they'll be able to turn their luck in today's clash. Let's get into the team list. So we'll start with WAP, front row, Gianluca Salvodelli, Delano van der Berg, Johan Mutona. And then the locks are Magnus du Toit, Abraham van Sale, and on flank is Jean-Andre Brandt and Walter Otto. Benberger is the 8th man. Liam van Rooyen is the scrum half. Van der Merwe Tromp is at number 10 with Roan Jans van Rensburg at 11. At 12 is Dandre Duplessis. 13, JP Ricks. 14, Sheilano Bessa. And 15, it is Jezreel Brown. Looking at the reserves, we have Roan de Toit, Zander van Vingard, Leon Flock, Henko Kotze, CF van Rooyen, Nico van Staden, Laz Will Williams, Etienne Lombard. Before we go to the other team, Andrew, let's talk a bit about some of the players who managed to make it to the academy.
Yeah, so Whk Affies then has 2, 3, 4, 5 players that represented the Namibia schools team at the Under 18 Academy Week in Johannesburg. It's number 1 and 2 and in the front row, Gianluca Salvodelli and Delano van der Berg. And also number 7 and 8, Walter Otto. I think he was player of the match in 2 of the matches there. And also Ben Burger, the number 8, who actually captained that Namibian team.
Wow.
And then also number 10, Van der Merwe Tromp, who is also a very influential player. He was both for influential player for Namibia, and he'll be an important player for Whk Affies today as well.
All right. You know, interestingly, I'm noticing it's 4 out of 8 of the academy's forwards coming from Whk Afrikaans Privaat School, so we can expect quite a potent forward pack.
Yeah, the same basically in Whk Gymnasium side. They also had quite a strong core of players that represented Namibia at the Under 18 Academy Week in Johannesburg. As we see there, basically their number 2 and 3, Hendrey Skrader as well as Herman Gous. While Ocha Awala, he was almost in contention to be selected for Namibia Under 20 as well, maybe a bit on the young side, so he wasn't actually released. And then they also have the number 7 and the number 6 today, Zak van Willig and Roan Achenbach, the 2 loose forwards that also played very well in South Africa. The number 10 that they brought in, Waldrey Kotze, replacing Whk Versace, who is on the cricket tour with Namibia Under 19 in Tanzania at the moment. So Waldrey Kotze also was part of the Namibia Under 18 team, so quite a handy replacement to slot in there. Then also number 12, their captain today, Stefan Gildenhuys, was also representing Namibia there. So from last week's invitational momentum week at Windhoek High School, so they made basically the change. Bason van der Merwe, number 14, is then one of the players that they brought in that didn't play for them during last week on the right wing.
All right. Now, I mean, looking at the form right now, just looking at Whk Gymnasium, how well do you think they've been faring thus far?
I think also if we look at the reserves, the reserve bench could also come into play on the side of Whk Gymnasium. Daniel de Tooy, that was also one of the forwards that made the Namibia team. He will also be on the bench. And then also they have number 19, Heinrich Geldenhuys, who represented Whk Affies last year in the final, who now represents Whk Gymnasium.
Wow, talk about switching jerseys. We're going to take a short ad break and we'll be back with rugby. So this is the Standard Bank NSSR Rugby League, and I promise you the teams don't get much bigger than this. Whk Affies taking on Whk Gymnasium, and it's expected to be quite the clash. So I was just talking to Andrew. As you know, it is the A team with you today, Ashwin and Andrew. Andrew, let's get back to Whk Affies' first team. Before we swing to Gymnasium again, how do you feel they've been faring in this season? Do you think that they can turn their fortunes around, considering obviously last year's loss was heartbreaking and was just 1 point? So, you know, you can't really say that there was much separation between the two teams. But of course, they would want to put themselves in an advantageous position this year. Do you think they've managed to put in the necessary pieces?
Yeah, I can't wait to see today's match. Obviously, we know quite a heartbreaking loss for them last year after they were in the lead right at the end. So after in the new season, each of these two teams have basically just had 1 or 2 matches so far. So Whk Gymnasium has won their match at Walvis Bay, also a match that we broadcast on NTV. So while Whk Affies, I think they won their first match, was it against El Nathan or something previously. So yeah, it's still early days, but today's match will be crucial, quite crucial for both teams to make a statement in the league.
You know, it feels like a baptism of fire. You know, I was thinking about South Africa having to play New Zealand just before the World Cup. It can work both in two ways, right? Of course, you lose, which is something you don't like, but then you also know the pieces you need to fix. You know, and I think, for example, in that game in particular, New Zealand is as big a sample size as you can get. So for these two teams being able to test, you know, with the best so early in the season, I think it can only help them as they compete with the other teams.
Yeah, very similar to what you said, the Springboks and the All Blacks, almost the type of the respect that exists between these two schools, both the spectators and the players on the field. Really, it's very competitive, but great respect that goes both ways.
Yes, indeed. So, which players, if I were to ask, maybe it's a bit of an unfair question, but if you were to say one player from each team who is perhaps a huge difference maker, you know, if there's one player that could, you know, just take it away in that crucial moment, in basketball they call it clutch moments, you know, which player do you think would be able to do it for each of the teams?
I think it's to win today will require a team effort from both teams, but I think the decision makers in both teams, the fly-offs, Van der Merwe Tromp on the side of Whk Affies is going to be an important guy for them today. And then also a big test for Waldrey Kotze in the number 10 jersey for Whk Gymnasium. So we would like to see how they use their options, and their decision making. And also I think that the two benches coming into play during the second half could also
could impact the game quite a bit, huh?
Yeah,
definitely. Well, as you can see on your screen, Whk Affies' first team preparing to get it going at Whk Gymnasium. Andrew has all the information, and I promise you he's going to keep it rolling as we bring you this live rugby game. NSSR Rugby League, two of the stronger teams meeting early in the season. We'll see what it means to them. You know, just Andrew, I was thinking to myself, how many of these players have managed to retain experience from last year?
Yeah, both of these teams have a strong core of players that actually played in the first team last year. Obviously, Whk Gymnasium's second team also were involved in the final of the Under-19 A-League. So, yeah, obviously players coming through, and this is their big moment now today to make a statement today.
Absolutely. So, it's time for rugby, as you can see. That looks like a war cry or a prayer. Either way, the spirits are up. And Whk Gymnasium is ready to get it going against Whk Affies, NSSR Rugby League. The referee will be Danny Kwon. And I promise you, this one will be electrifying. It all starts off with this kick. If you can get yourself some momentum early on in the game, that can never hurt. Affies with the kickoff. Gymnasium with the return. Getting just over the 22-meter line is Roche Brand. Waldrey Kotze with the first, well, rather the second kick of the game. Whk Gymnasium is going to be happy with how that in particular transpired. Can they turn it into momentum? That is going to be the question. Of course, lineouts are certainly a good way to size up the forwards, because lineouts test not just the physicality but rugby IQ as well. Timing is everything, and Windhoek Afrikaans Privaat with a classic line out there. Gymnasium on the return, Jan-Re van Zyl. Gymnasium swinging the ball. Gymnasium with the ball. It's down to number 11, Kaldro Hawanga. was taken out into touch, but quite the potent run. If there's such a thing as a warning shot, that's it right there.
Ja, Whk Gymnasium vroeg op die aanval. Gebruik die spasie en bring die bal hier na die linkerkant toe, na Carlo Awanga toe. Ongelukkig die spasie wat nie genoeg is vir hom daar in die kantlyn nie. Lyn staan vir Whk Affies.
Affies winning yet another contested lineout. Whk Gymnasium is going to certainly want to keep an eye on that. You can't lose 2 lineouts in 5 minutes. Big kick. And that's going to bounce straight out.
Ja, van 'n marathon wat so 'n klein bietjie verligting bring. Daar is dan Whk Gymnasium wat die bal kan ingooi. Hendrey Skrader. Wat die bal in die hand het. Kry die boodskap in die teken. Springers wat instap. Gymnasium wat hom het en hulle loop so eentjie met hom. Kry die beweging aan die gang.
Good move by Gymnasium. Keeping it going right to the Affies 22-meter line. Popping out. It's number 12.
Stefan Gildenhuys sterk op sy bene.
Affies made sure that they showed up with their own support as well, Andrew. Lots of support in the stands as they managed to avert that danger early on in the game. It's still less than 5 minutes. And Switch Energy Drink is our drink of choice as we take you through this NSSR Rugby League clash with 2 of the best.
Skeieregter Dani Koen wat daar 'n fout bespeur het. En Whk Gymnasium wat teruggejaag word tot in hulle eie helfte. Whk Gymnasium wat daar op die grond gestraf is nadat Stefan Gildenhuys 'n paar goeie meters gewen het, sterk op sy bene. Nie 'n maklike man om grond toe te bring nie. Dalano van der Berg met die ingooi. Gymnasium soek hom vinnig. Whk is die skramskakel. Weer Stefan Gildenhuys.
Whk has distributed the ball. An unfortunate occurrence there for Affies. Referee is going to call back the penalty. Reaching in. Whk's energetic, as every scrum half is expected to be. Whk Gymnasium going for post, Andrew.
Ja, so eerste geleentheid vir Waldrey Kotse. Binne trefafstand. En hy kan dan vir Whk Gymnasium die voorsprong besorg hierso. Skopringetjie reeds daar. En hy gaan hom dan stel. So binne kan die 10 meter lyn. Redelike reguit skop.
So it's going to be the first penalty kick of the game. Waldrey Kotse with an opportunity to put 3 points on the board. It's up. And that will not be 3 points for Whk Gymnasium, as Affies still stands a chance to put the first points on the board. Affies needing to play the game a little more outside of their own half. Perhaps this will be the catalyst. Assertive rugby from Whk Affies. Gymnasium maintaining possession. Whk's little clumsy there. Affies picks up the scraps.
Sterk loopie van Ben Burger, die 8ste man af van Whk Affies. Van Rooyen wat wag vir hom. Slaan aan die linkerkant toe, volgende aanvaller. Twee slotte wat sterk aan die bal vorder.
Little miscommunication there. Referee is going to call the penalty. And I think Affies are pointing towards the post, and it's Van der Merwe Tromp's opportunity to kick. You know, I can certainly say these two teams understand each other. They understand the moment, and they are asserting themselves as such. Whk Gymnasium certainly hoping to turn around their line-out luck, a little bit of clumsy play, hot potato, if you will, in the lines coming out of the scrums. Affies has played the bulk of this game thus far in their own half. Perhaps some separation of sorts can happen now off the boot of Van der Merwe Tromp. It's up. And that will not go through. I don't remember the last time I watched these two teams clash and see two missed kicks within the first 10 minutes. But I guess everybody's still, you know, adjusting to the game, warming up. Nerves are still cooling. 10 minutes is too early to speak, I suppose. But let's see how this irons out.
Ja, beide skoppers wat daar so 'n bietjie miskien senuweeagtig was. Nie akkuraat was met hulle eerste skop op palle toe nie. Stefan Gildenhuys met die skop. Word daar in die hande gekry deur Roan Jansen van Rensburg vir Whk Affies. Tom Ben Burger in die middelveld. Sterk op sy bene. Hou die bal beskikbaar van Roan weer na die regterkant toe na Tromp toe.
Not the wisest of plays there. Good awareness from Whk Gymnasium. Can they maintain it on this run? Zach van Ville. Affies scrambling to defense as the referee plays Gymnasium's advantage. Bekers. Visser. Referee is going to penalize Affies. Has Gymnasium lost faith in their boot, or are they going to give the post another shot? The faith remains. As Valdrekotsa has a second opportunity to put 3 points on the board. This one, I don't want to say the word easy, but it is a less difficult kick in general for someone with his experience. I think I went through that nicely, Andrew. This time he makes sure. And it really did. Looks like he was aiming for the hostels there. Either way, the 3 points are on the board. Whk Gymnasium takes the lead at home as Affies figures out a way to put some points on the board. Let's have a look at the replay. Stunning kick. Well executed. Cannot take any point for granted. That's going to go out. And we'll be back for the scrum.
Ja, Van der Merwe Tromp wat hy net 'n bietjie te hard gedruk het. Hierso na die regterkant se kantlyn toe. En hy gee daarmee dan die scrum ingooi op die middelkolletjie vir Whk Gymnasium. Denver Bekers wat die bal daar in die hand het. Nommer 8 vir Whk Gymnasium, Roan Aghenbach met die band om die kop. Achenbach na Bekes toe. Hy skop sommer self. Soek daar 'n gaping. Jag hom uit tot naby die doellyn.
That was not wise at all. I don't think he thought it through. I think he may have gotten the rules a little mixed up. He was trying to call for mark, but he went for the not so good decision there. So Whk Gymnasium finds themselves 5 meters from the Affies try box. Certainly not what Affies was hoping for on that play. Lapse in judgment happens in sports. Unfortunately, you can often get punished for it. Can Gymnasium make something about this otherwise low-hanging fruit? Gymnasium with a strong scrum. Bekes swings it out. Quick pace. Bekes searching for the ball. Another pass that could have gone better. Referee is going to call it back for another scrum, if I'm not mistaken. It's a penalty for Whk Gymnasium. One wonders what decision they'll go with now. They're going to kick it for touch. Next door it goes. So Gymnasium with the otherwise rare opportunity. You know, they were handed those meters pretty much for free. And now they're 5 meters away from the try box with the line out. And this time they executed well. Can they get the maul going? Yes, they can. The maul is moving. And the maul is successful. Whk Gymnasium putting the first try on the board. Taking them to 8 points.
Roan Achenbach met die 3 afronde. Lyn staan gewen deur Whk van Wielig. Presies waar Gymnasium wou gewees het. 5 meter ingooi op die doellyn. En eerste 3 van die wedstryd.
Let's have a look at that replay. It all started from the line out. Well put, Whk van Wielig coming down with the ball. And then making sure it reaches its destination. Very well done from Whk Gymnasium. It's not to see if Waldrekotze can add 2 points to the scoreline, which currently stands on 8. Not the start Affies was hoping for, certainly. But there's still plenty of rugby to be played, 40 minutes a half. The kick is up. And that is not over. And neither is this rugby game. Whk Gymnasium, 8 points, Affies 0. Is there a response from Windhoek Afrikaans Privaat School?
Whk van Wielig wat die bal sterk dra. Van die afskop af vir Gymnasium. Denver Bekes met die hoë skop. Verdedigers is daar om toe te maak. En die druk hou op Affies. Johan Meton, die kaptein van Windhoek Affies, wat die bal daar probeer vorentoe dra. Van der Merwe Tromp wat vastrap.
Referee is going to penalize Windhoek Gymnasium. That was a high tackle. So Afrikaans Privaat School with some breathing space. Yet another opportunity to get out of their own half. And the kick to touch will be administered by Van der Merwe Tromp. That will be sufficient. Interesting play thus far. About 4 minutes on the 20-minute mark. too hard to say if one of these teams is pulling away. Of course, the scoreline says different. But as far as gameplay goes, more or less equally matched. However, Whk Gymnasium has managed to take advantage of any opportunity they could. Referee is going to give a warning there. Affies taking too long to make the decision, Andrew.
Ja, twee van Affies voorspelers wat daar aan die agterlyn gestaan het en toe teruggeroep is om deel te kom vorm van hulle planne daarvoor. 'n Bietjie lank gevat na die skeieregter se smaak. Maar hulle kom tog weg daarmee, by die lyn staan, by die strafskop, binne trefafstand.
Affies making a decision now. And it looks like they too will go for touch. I think that kick will serve them well from the boot of Tromp, right at the 5-meter line.
Ja.
Hoping for a better line out than the last one.
Interessante besluit deur Whk Affies daarso om die lyn staan te kies en van daar af aan te val. Delano van 'n Berg. Die planne wat hy so lekker uitgewerk het met daai ene nie. En dan die uiteinde is dat hulle 'n skrim gaan vorm. Whk Gymnasium se ingooi. Denver Bekers wat die bal in die hand het. Skram ingooi 5 meter van sy eie doellyn af. So daar dan
Gymnasium.
Autohaus wat hom weer opsit. Gymnasium om terug te wen. Denver Bekers hierdie keer gaan hy skop. Gaan nie uitskop nie. Raak gevat deur Silano Besser. Hou die bal beskikbaar vir Whk Affies.
Ben Berger. Also an academy player for Affies. Well, for the country actually. But certainly with the Affies jersey today. As Abraham van Zyl comes to ground. Whk Gymnasium managing the turnover. They can be proud of that. That bounce works in their favor. Number 11, Carlo.
Carlo Awanga wat die bal daar terugwen van die skop af. Denver Bekers stuur hom na die linkerkant toe. Nog steeds die voorspelers wat daar vorentoe dryf. Slaan nou daar in die middelveld met Roan Aggenbach, die agste man. Nommer 4, Henry Visser. Bring weer hulle groot manne daar in die spel. Goldenhuis wat hierdie keer nie beweegruimte gegee word nie. Maar Gymnasium het hom nog steeds. Herman Gous die vaskop stit.
Bekers making a run for it. Advantage that looked like a bit of a high tackle. Referee is certainly going to, yes, he's going to penalize them for that one. Looks like there's a player on ground. Let's have another look. Bekers comes out. Very strong tackle. But he's not the man on the ground. Injuries are certainly not something you want to deal with in the first half of the game. Especially when it's number 8, Ben Berger. Potent for the Namibian Academy team. Certainly a force for Whk Affies. His presence would certainly be essential.
Ja, dit sal 'n groot verlies vir Whk Affies wees as Ben Burger nie verder kan speel nie. Hy het reeds verskeie kere die bal baie sterk gedra vir hulle hierso in die middelveld. Nie maklike man om grond te bring nie. Soos jy so net weer kyk, Whk van Willig wat daai bal tevore in die hande gekry het, grond toe gebring is. En dan Waldrey Kotse wat daar so die eerste 3 punte van die wedstryd aangeteken het met 'n strafdoel. Gymnasium wat die bal vir so 'n paar fases gehou het daar op hulle eie doellyn, nie die bal uitgeskop het nie. Gymnasium wat weer die bal geskop het en Carlo Awanga wat prominent was in daardie aanval. Dit lyk tog of Ben Burger, ons kyk, lyk tog of hy gaan vasbyt nog vir 'n rukkie. Gaan voortspeel. Maar is Whk Gymnasium wat hier op die aanval is. As die spel gaan hervat dan met die strafskop. Waldrey Kotse wat dan lyk of hy dan die lyn staan gaan kies. Ja, geen rede hoekom hy dit nie sal doen nie. Hulle het reeds 1-3 gedruk met hulle lyn staan drywe.
Well, that was nice to see. Interesting. I've always wanted to spin a rugby ball in my hand like that. He's not even looking at it. I'm a little jealous, to be very honest. So it looks like the stoppage is done, and it's going to be a penalty kick to touch for Whk Gymnasium. Doesn't work out the way they wanted to. Possession, Whk Afrikaans Privaat School.
Ja, Whk daar met die lynskop. Bal agter die hoekvlag uitgeskop. So dit beteken dan is 'n skram ingooi vir Whk Affies daar op van waar af hy geskop het. En dit is Liam van Rooyen, die skramskakel van Whk Affies. Wat vir hulle die bal kan ingooi. Sterk skram van Whk Affies. En 'n stromp wat hom gaan uitjaag.
Affies managing to get themselves out of the danger zone. A lot of momentum has been lost, which actually means a lot of momentum can be gained by either one of these sides.
Ja, so dit is Ben Burger wat nog steeds op die veld is. Hy het toe nie die veld verlaat nie. Daar is nou Hendrey Skrader wat die bal kan ingooi. Van dan na agter vir Whk van Willig. En is Roan Aghenwag wat die bal wyd vat.
Referee is going to call the forward pass. Whk Afrikaans Privaat School will appreciate that as they come for yet another scrum.
Ja, is 'n klomp klein foutjies wat insluip aan beide kante. Albei spanne wat klein foutjies begaan. Stel skoppers kantlyn toe. Ons kyk wat gebeur dan by hierdie skram. Liam van Rooyen. Hierdie keer is dit Whk Gymnasium wat 'n bietjie sterker vorder, maar vorentoe gaan met die skram. Maar skeieregter Dani Koen.
Plenty of support in the background there. Whk Afrikaans Privaat School pretty much on the other side of town, but showing up in their blue and white to support the boys on the field. It's always good to see. Many legends are made in high school rugby. Could this be one of those days? Affies coming out with the ball, swinging it. This time opting for the kick. Gymnasium on the return. It's going to be off the boot of Stefan Heldenhuis. Good pace from Affies. That is a fast man. Number 10.
Van der Merwe Tromp wil daar 'n bietjie wys wat hy kan doen. Daar van die skop af. Mooi op spoed gekom daar teen die kantlyn af.
Andrew, that pace surprised me. I did not know that Van der Merwe Tromp had that in him. Of course, in the game, I've primarily been seeing him kick, but my goodness, that's a quick chap.
Ja, soos jy kan kyk van die skop af. Van der Merwe Tromp wat hom in die hande gekry het en aan die hardloop geraak het daar so teen die kantlyn af. Versnel hy baie goed daar. Waar die verdedigers besig vinnige aftrap binnekant toe. En die uiteinde is dan dat Whk Affies dan weer 'n strafskop kan kry, so 7 meter binnekant die 10 meter lyn van Whk Gymnasium. Van der Merwe Tromp wat hom gaan stel. En kyk of hy met sy eerste skoppale toe kan slaag vandag.
Definitely quite the potent player there, Tromp, as he attempts to put the first 3 points on the board for VAP.
Hy het een vorige poging gehad pale toe, redelike maklike poging reguit, ene wat hy nie tussen die pale kon deurstuur nie. Maak mooi met hierdie ene. Tref hom in die regtervoet.
This time it goes through. Whk Afrikaans Privaat School putting their first points on the board off the boot and the efforts of one Van der Merwe Tromp. Let's have another look at that kick. Well executed. It seems like that run has put him in a state of flow. Let's see if that can turn into momentum. Unfortunate there for VAP. A bit of a scuffle on the other side of the field, but play continues on this end.
Sterk loopie van Stefan Gildenhuys. Dis die vletjie wat blaas en die skeieregter kom hier teruggedraf.
Referee is going to bring it back for the knock-on. Certainly not the return VAP would have hoped for. They would have wanted to build on the momentum of putting those points on the board. But in spite of the scoreline, they have been quite the aware defense. However, Whk Gymnasium is quite aware themselves. Let's see what they make of this. Bierkus with the ball in hand. And that's going to be a try from number 13, Surami Kambombo, scoring the first try for Whk Gymnasium. Emphatic fashion. It was a line play. You can see that one was practiced before this game, and they executed it very well. Once the pace broke through the middle, there was very little that Whk Afrikaans Privaat School could do. And thus is the tale of that story.
Ja, goeie beplande beweging wat Gymnasium daar goed uitgevoer het. As ons net weer kyk is aan die 8ste man Roan Agemag wat opgetel het agter die skram. En die uiteinde is dan 'n 3 vir Surami Kambombo, nommer 13 wat hier so in die beeld is. Stefan Gildenhuys wat vir Roan Agemag gegee het en dan so kort aangekkie deur tussen die gaping deur. Maklike skop vir al die kosse voor die pale. En dis dan 15 punte op die telbord vir Whk Gymnasium, 15-3 wat hulle voorloop. So kort voor rustyd.
Yes, suddenly there's more distance on those two scored lines. As Andrew said, 15 for Gymnasium. Affies needing to add more to that 3. Gymnasium with the ball. As Brandt comes to ground. Bierkus with the kick of his own. Affies totally misses that one. They may, however, benefit from the knock-on. And thus they shall.
Nou 'n ontkoming daar vir Whk Affies. Whk Affies wat daar onder druk was met 'n huiskop. Uiteindelik dan net hulle weer daarom 'n skram ingooi. Daar in hulle eie helft te kry. Van Rooyen. Uit na Tromp toe. Probeer self hardloop.
Big hits on Trump
beskikbaar.
there. Affies coming out with the ball.
Jandrey Brandt wat daar teruggedra word deur die verdedigers. Whk Affies wat daar aan die steelkant probeer aanval.
Ref is going to have conversation. He was not happy with how that play was executed. He's going to have a chat with El Capitano and the player involved. So it's going to be a penalty. Affies. It was a high tackle. And Trump, the man working overtime. Kicks it into touch.
Hy bring dan na vir Whk Affies tot in die helfte van Whk Gymnasium. En Delano van der Berg wat die bal kan ingooi in 'n lyn staan op die 10 meter lyn. Ek vind dan sy springer Magnus de Tooy daarso. Bal word so 'n bietjie misgetas.
Unfortunate knock on there for Affies. Not managing to create momentum with that one. Whk Gymnasium with an opportunity to respond now.
Ja, Jandrey Brandt het die bal daar op die grond nie mooi kon regvat nie. Besorg aan 'n skram vir Whk Gymnasium. Soos daar in beeld kyk na die afrigterspan van Whk Gymnasium. Die speel noukeurig volg. Denver Bekes wat ingooi. Aggenbach gee vir hom agter. Slaan aan die regterkant toe. Beweging wat so 'n bietjie skibberig lê. En is van Affies se voorspelers wat daar instorm. Van Rooyen bring hom uit na die volgende man toe.
Big run from
Gianluca Savoldelli.
Delano van der Berg coming down to ground as Affies distributes the ball, this time trying to make something of the momentum. Xandre Duplessis offloading that one. Affies just shy of the halfway mark. This time a little smart play from Liam van Rooyen as Affies gain a few meters over the halfway mark. Affies stitching their phases together, playing through the forwards. Affies is going to trust in the phases here. You can see strategic play with the forwards as Delano picks that one up. Tromp with the kick. Wow! Stunning work from Van der Merwe Tromp as he puts 3 points on the board from within play. That is how it's done. And that is how you give an opportunity to your team for some momentum.
Waardevolle 3 punte net voor rustyd. Wat Van der Merwe daar Tromp daar met 'n baie netjiese skepdoel byvoeg.
Smart play there. Very smart, intelligent play from Van der Merwe Tromp. Of course, execution Also very important. And the scoreline is, as you see it, 15-6. Gymnasium playing the advantage.
Ja, twee van die Affies se manne wat daar miskien bietjie mekaar se pad was daar met die afskop.
Players getting a little chippy. It's all in view of the referee. He does understand when to mitigate and when to let them hash it out rather. But we're going to go by Affies' first knock on, making it a Gymnasium scrum. Beekers with the ball in hand, talking and strategizing. Let's have a look at that again.
Ja, so tyd wat dan amper verstreek is hier in die eerste helfte. Whk Gymnasium wat nog voorloop met 15 punte teenoor 6. Ons sien weer hy netjies 'n skepskop wat van 'n Merwe Tromp daar oorgestuur het. Maar dit is nou weer Whk Gymnasium wat 'n skram het.
Referee not pleased with how that scrum was wheeling. So we're going to re-establish ourselves and give it another go. So it seems it'll be 35-minute halves, Andrew, if I'm not mistaken.
Ja. 35 minute speeltyd in skole rugby. In hierdie Standaardbank onder 19 Premierliga wedstryd. Roan Aggemag stuur hom aan na die regterkant toe. Denver Beekers.
Whk Gymnasium, Beekers scoring a try with the quick pace that he has been showing throughout this game. He hasn't had an opportunity to run quite like that. He has been quick to the thinking, and this time he was quick to the feet as well.
'n bietjie verwarring daar in die verdedigingslyn van Whk Affies. En is Denver Beekers wat met sy spoed daar deur die gaping kom, self in die hoek oorhardloop en netjies gaan druk. As ons weer sien, daar gaan hy so 'n klein fop aangeekie daarso. En 5 punte byvoeg net voor rustyd. Groot slag vir Whk Affies om die 5 punte af te staan. Baldry Kotse wat maar gemengde sukses behaal het nog so ver met sy skoppe. Ons kyk of hy met hierdie kan raak korrel daar van die kantlyn af.
You know, Affies has had its moments. What's been difficult to do is to create and maintain momentum. And in those gaps, Whk Gymnasium has asserted themselves. And this is one such moment leading to a try. Will the extra 2 points be available to Valdrikota? It's up. That will not make it through. And our halftime score is as you see it. Whk Gymnasium on 20 points as Windhoek Afrikaans Privaat School has to work with 6 points for now. We're going to take a short ad break and we'll be back with more NSSR Rugby.
For Stadio, a qualification isn't just a qualification. It represents our vision of a nation empowered. Equip yourself for the world of work with one of Africa's leading distance learning experts. With more than 20 distance learning degrees, diplomas, and higher certificates, you can join a higher education institution that's industry aligned and affordable. Apply now for a quality distance learning qualification at Stadio. A new vision in higher education.
The next days are not a measurement of time. but the distance from here to the finish line. For the race you are running, for your kids, your career, your health, your future. Not away, but towards it. While the voice in your head reminds you it won't be easy. But by simply swinging your feet towards the floor, you've taken the first step. Grow for it with Stamino Grow. 5-in-1 supplement available at all leading pharmacies.
All right, let's get into the highlights at halftime as Whk Afrikaans Privaat School trails Whk Gymnasium 6-20. Yes, of course, as we said, these two teams are no strangers to each other. They certainly met in the final last year. And thus, you know, once you've met any team in the final, just about any game after that can feel like a final. And that's how it started out. Whk Gymnasium doing their best to take advantage of their quick pace early on in the game. Not too much momentum was fully established by either side at this stage. But it was ingenuity from both ends. This being one of those potent runs. Kotza had the first opportunity to put some points on the board for Whk Gymnasium. This was actually his second attempt, but this time he made sure that it went through. Beerkus, the quick thinking, quick paced scrum off at quite the game. Now this moment was the game changer. Whk Affies making a bad IQ judgment there and conceding a scrum 5 meters away from their try box. And Whk Gymnasium came through with the line out and the maul, which was successful. It started with Zach van Ville, and then it was Ruan Agenbach who took it to ground. So that was Whk Gymnasium starting to assert themselves at least on the scoreboard. At this point in time, they had been facing quite a bit of pressure from Affies. Affies doing their best to keep themselves in this game throughout. Quick pace from Carlo Hawanga, always visible. This was yet another penalty conceded by Affies. That one was the result of a high tackle. Whk Gymnasium with a big kick to Affies, and it was Van der Merwe Tromp with certainly the biggest run of the game thus far. Quick pace, he was hard to catch, and when he was caught, it wasn't done the right way, and thus a penalty was awarded to Affies, and the man who started running was the man who came to kick. And kick he did, as he put 3 points on the board for Whk Afrikaans Privaat School. Gymnasium needing to create some kind of distance between the two score lines. Beerkus getting it started. And of course, at the end of it all was Surami Kambombo. And the scoreline is, as you see it, Whk Gymnasium 20, Whk Afrikaans Privaat School 6. Let's get into the second half. All right, Andrew, how do you feel? I mean, I think Whk Gymnasium is definitely the kind of team that knows how to conserve a lead. But looking at last year's final, they had to play some catch-up themselves, if I'm not mistaken.
Ja, so Whk Gymnasium wat hier op koers is om nie net die wedstryd te wen nie, maar ook dan volpunte te kry. Volpunte beteken dan as jy net meer drieë as die oppositie druk. En in hierdie stadium het hulle reeds 3-3 teen 0 gedruk. So Whk Gymnasium stewig in beheer van hierdie wedstryd. En is 'n lang pad om terug te kom in hierdie wedstryd vir Whk Affies.
I have to say, Andrew, I last played high school rugby a long time ago. I feel like the half times are shorter. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because we were entertained by the highlights during that time. Big kick from Affies. Tromp has been their main man thus far. But Whk Gymnasium has had all momentum on their side, and that's quite the run from Jean Riffensale. Jean Riffensale, will he go all the way? Oh, 5 meter line is where they take him down. But that certainly put his team in a good position. And this man does it yet again. Surami Kambombo, too quick to catch. Across the line he goes as he puts Whk Gymnasium in a much, much more comfortable position. Such incredible pace from the two handlers of the ball there. It all started with this gentleman, Jean-Re van Zyl, the fullback, making it all the way to the 5-meter line. And once Beekers popped it out to Kambombo, he did what needed to be done. Second try for him.
Netjies die lyn wat Kambombo daar ingehardloop het in die verdediging in en homself uitgedraai het uit die lagvat uit. En Maldery Kotse wat aan 'n kans het om die 2 punte by te voeg. So effens na die linkerkant toe. Hierdie keer maak hy geen foutie. 2 punte wat bykom. En is dan telling wat aanskuif na 27 na 27-6 in die guns van Whk Gymnasium.
Whk Afrikaans Prefa School needing a miracle that contains at least 21 points at this time. Of course, at least about 30 minutes of rugby to be played. They do have Trump on their side. They do have Ben Berger. They have Delano van der Berg. They have Salvo Deli. But do they have what it takes to clear the deficit? Gymnasium playing with a pep in their step, if you will. Fasco. Light work being made of the player there. Gymnasium forcing him out. And out he goes. That was Jezreel Brown. Not the first touch you hope for. As Gymnasium comes through with the line out. Schrader.
Gymnasium wat nou elke afdeling van die spel begin oorheers. Hulle stempel afdruk op die wedstryd. Roan Agemag wat daar wegbars. Sy span nou op die voorvoet sit. Beekers stuur hom uit langs. Nommer
big run from Brandt. Beekers has been a busy man.
Gymnasium hou hom beskikbaar. Staan hier na die regterkant toe. Zak van Willig. En is Schrader wat grond toe gebring word. Zak van Willig wat hom optel.
Beekers swinging it out to Agenbach. Gymnasium, the man with the ball in hand is Stefan Gildenhuis, and that is the man to take it across the try box. Also the captain, also an under-18 academy player, and certainly the man with the dagger in his hand today. You know, they call it a dagger because once you get it, it's hard to see any victory at the end. Let's have a look at that replay. Gymnasium building on their momentum, making sure that they kept hammering and hammering at Affies. And some strategic play in the back line brought to fruition this try by El Capitano Gildenhuis.
Yeah, Whk Gymnasium that stayed patient, and we see a nice little short pass from the lock of Vincent Scholes that put his captain Stefan Gildenhuis through the gap there for the line break, and he went to round off, kept the last defender away from him, and went on to score the try. Kotze.
My goodness, Gymnasium continues to pile on the points as Kotze adds an extra 2, bringing the scoreline to 32-6. I don't know if that's the tale of the entire game. With regards to effort, Affies has certainly been trying to assert themselves. But as Andrew said, Gymnasium has been patient. And when they've been striking, they've been doing it at the right time. Tromp. Affies' support still very much alive as they get awarded a penalty. Certainly not going to go for posts with this one. There's too much of a deficit to settle for merely 3 points. They'll kick it to touch off the boot of Trump. Affies needing to inject some energy, some lifeblood, if you will, into this game as they're faced with just over 20 minutes to change the deficit.
Ja, so Whk Gymnasium wat laas jaar ook die liga wedstryd tussen die twee spanne met 20 punte gewen het, 37-17. En daarmee gewys het dat as enige span die liga wil wen, is Gymnasium die span by wie jy moet verbykom. Uiteindelik was dit die finaal wat toe nou baie nader aan mekaar was. As ons daar sien Jan Brand wat daar teruggedra word. Gymnasium hier op die verdediging. Hierdie keer is dit nou Whk Affies wat die fases by mekaar sit. Soek vir daai gaping, soek vir die momentum. Trekkie vir trekkie vorentoe dryf.
Affies hoping for their first try of the game.
Kan daar sien hoe naby hulle aan die doellyn is. Nog steeds die groot manne wat die bal net by mekaar hou.
Affies will score the try. It's going to be the first one of the game, and it's going to come from the efforts of number 7, Walter Otto.
Goeie speler Walter Otto, ook baie goed gespeel van Namibia by die onder 18 week. En hy word beloon met die 3.
Let's have another look at that one. Affies kept piling on the pressure, phase after phase within that 5-meter line. And it's a sigh of relief, but certainly not much to be celebrated. The deficit is hefty, 34 points to 11. Trump can cut into that by putting Affies on 13 points. Thus far, his boot has been very trustworthy. Can that relationship of trust be sustained at this moment? Trump. He gets it through. Affies on 13 points. Gymnasium leading on 34. Good to see Affies not deflated after the consecutive scoring by Gymnasium. Still playing their rugby game, and that's the spirit of the game. You don't give up. You wait for that final whistle, and I'm sure their supporters are proud of them. What's up? Affies coming out with the ball. He's looking for someone with pace. Affies penalized immediately. Looks like he was holding on to the ball there, which is certainly not permissible. Rugby sometimes is a lesson in letting go, you know. Sometimes, like relationships, you want to hold on to the ball as long as possible, but once it comes to the ground, you have to release it. Otherwise, you'll be penalized.
It was all happening in that movement, with a strong run from one of the forwards there from Whk Affies. But the end result is the penalty, and Gymnasium wat nou daar weer terug op die aanval is in die kwartgebied. As ons dan sien Whk Gymnasium wat hulle reserve hakker opstuur, Kyle van Wyk. Dat dan sommer dadelik gaan ingooi. Kyle van Wyk. Springer was Zak van Willig, maar kon hom nie vind nie. Onderskep deur Whk Affies, slaan aan die steelkant. Jan Brand wat oor die kantlyn gehelp word deur Roan Aggenbach. Jan Brand wat so 'n bietjie daar ongemaklik lyk. Roep haar die noodhulp nader.
Certainly not what they're hoping for, because of course you are present and playing in this game, but you want to look at the games going ahead and you don't want to deal with any injuries. Referee needing to have a chat there with Stefan, perhaps too eager. Referee saying stop, give it a moment. Let's cater to the player. As Jan Brand. He looks to be in significant agony there. Other Whk Gymnasium supporters staying at school on a Friday. That's his commitment, because I don't know a single cousin, sister who would stay at school or brother. It's good to see. This is one of the replays. Whk Gymnasium making use of the quick-paced Kambombo, who made sure that their efforts were rewarded. Stunning work throughout this game. Gymnasium has been very assertive. Kotza. The boot was not going his way earlier on. But right now it seems like he's found his stride. And it's hard to say that everything is not going Gymnasium's way. But perhaps Affies can respond and change the trajectory of this game. Gymnasium on 34. Whk Afrikaans Privaat School on 13. Looks like referee's gonna just allow them to make a sub. Play does have to continue. Over 20 minutes left in the second half.
Ja, Jan Brand, die flank van Whk Affies wat daar so nog steeds ongemakkelijk lyk. Ek weet nie of vir 'n knie of knieprobleem of iets is daar nie. Lyk of hy verder gaan speel nie. Tromp wat dan kant in te skop. Ja, die bal uit net so 'n paar tree binnekant die halflyn. Aan die kant in die halfgebied van Whk Gymnasium. Delano van der Berg.
Affies winning that line out.
Agnes se twee wat hom wen. Maar dis 'n Affies se agterlyn waar die dinge nie lekker wil vlot vandag nie.
Referee is going to penalize Affies. The first try that line play ended up in a knock-on rather. Gymnasium not needing to risk any more bodies at this time. The scoreline is comfortable enough, so they can trust in the boot of Kotza to keep them going. Kambombo, scorer of 2 tries, just having his calves sprayed and checked there. Looks like he may have pulled something. Nothing better than a caring coach, I have to say, Andrew.
Yeah, probably just some cramps. I'm sure we'll see him back on the field just now. He has a few moments to recover while Waldrey Kotze takes this kick.
Certainly. Kotze got a similar angle with his previous kick. Perhaps muscle memory will serve him well. This time, that would not be the case. As play returns with Affies possession. It's going to be a kick from the 22, Andrew.
Yeah, the Affies backline players that allowed that ball to bounce there in the in-goal area.
That's
having a lot of faith that they'll have time to
and recover. Big kick from Trump. Strong tackle. Referee is going to penalize Gymnasium. They managed to previously get a penalty the same way. This time they've conceded one pretty much exactly in the same manner. As Trump returns to work. Big kick. Will it be enough? That will go into touch. Strong tackle there. Rowan just had to take it. It's the nature of the game. Affies hoping to add to their 13 points. Will it make a difference? Who knows? But we know it's necessary to start to make a difference. Affies assembling the maul and rolling the maul. And it's rolling and it's rolling. Affies managing the maul. Rolling the maul. It's always fascinating to see the continual communication. The ball is in the hands of Delano van der Berg. And now it's out. Affies' sloppy line in the back line, sloppy play right in the back line has been costly to them. It's been costly to their momentum. And you cannot afford that. Can they get going again? Yet another knock-on from Affies. Well, referee's not going to call that one, is he? He is going to call it. It is a knock-on.
Ek sien ook aan nommer 19 is op die veld nou. Heinrich Geldenhuys, wat laas jaar in die finaal vir Whk Afrikaanse privaatskool gespeel het. Sak dan nou daar in die slotposisie vir Whk Gymnasium. Ja, so dinge wat nie lekker uitgewerk het nog vandag vir Whk Affies wanneer hulle die bal in die agterlyn afgestuur het. Paar blapse begaan en paar keer ver veld verloor, soos nou in hierdie geval. Rowan Achenbach wat steelkant omgaan.
Trump picking it up. Oh, it's going to be a knock-on, but referee is going to call back the first knock-on. It is Affies' possession. Good to see spirited play from both these teams.
Ja, so dan 'n ligte besering hier aan die kant van Whk Gymnasium. Wonder of het Herman Gous miskien is, die vaskopstit.
53 minutes into the game. About 16 minutes left. It's been quite the clash. This was one of the big runs from Affies, which unfortunately ended in a knock-on. As much as they have been putting in a lot of effort, they've only been able to get momentum in spurts. And ideally, you want something sustainable. No side has been able to sustain momentum, but Gymnasium has definitely taken advantage of any opportunity they can get. And thus the scoreline is as you see it, 34-13. As we continue with the scrum, the man with the ball in hand is Liam van Rooyen.
Dan Liam van Rooyen. Hierdie ingooi vir Whk Affies. Net binne kan die halflyn. Kom hy uit na Van der Merwe Tromp toe. Stuur hom daar met 'n lang aangee.
Wow, He damn near got thrown out. I don't know how else to explain that. But of course there was some speed and momentum on his side. Good thing he landed safely. No illegal play there, certainly. Just one of those things that looks worse than it is.
Yeah, Whk Affies not managing to get over the advantage line with that movement that went wide to the right.
Yes, indeed.
Henry Skrader van dan probeer vind vir Vincent Scholes, die springer.
As the clock winds down, Gymnasium certainly not opposed to extending on that scoreline. Between these two schools, it's never just about the game, it's about pride as well.
21 points the difference at the moment.
Can Affies get it right this time?
Solano Besser wat daar vorentoe geskop het. Roan Achenbach wat die al vasmaak vir Gymnasium. Bal was agter toe beweeg.
Just over 15 minutes left in this clash. Referee having a stern word with the Gymnasium forward pack.
Whk met die ingooi. Kan wel weer moet vorm van vooraf. Gymnasium sterk skram van hulle. Whk wat die bal kry en skop. Bal wat reg vir Surami Kambomo.
Goodness.
En dit gaan sy derde 3 vir die wedstryd wees.
Wow. If there's ever been a difference maker, we threw some names around in this game, but 3 tries makes you that guy. His name is Surami Kambombo. He's been relentless, still stretching those calves that we saw him get assistance with. But what he has certainly been able to do is show that he is a guy you can bank on. The Bekas Kambombo connection, actually, this is the second time it's happened. And it has been absolutely fruitful. Kambombo doing it again for Whk Gymnasium.
Ja, goeie skoppie van Whk wat daar in die gaping geland het, reg gewip het vir die buitesenter. En dis dan Kotse. Wat hom regs verby stuur. En die telling skuif dan aan na 39-13.
So if I'm not mistaken, that's 39-13 still, Andrew. Maybe Kotze fatigue is kicking in at this point. That's a kick he normally would make. But nonetheless, 39-13, not something to frown about. Dare I say a grin would be apt. Referee is going to bring it back forward. Pass from Windhoek from Whk Affies. The possession belongs to Whk Gymnasium. Smack bang at the halfway mark.
Nog 'n bietjie meer as 10 minute wat oorbly in die wedstryd. 12 minute. Groot punte verskil in die guns van Whk Gymnasium. Goeie vertoning deur hulle te kanse gebruik. Was meer akkuraat, minder foute gemaak.
As the clock winds down. Just over 11 minutes left in this clash.
Gymnasium wat dan van rigting verander daar aan die linkerkant toe. En as hulle linkerveld Carlo Awanga wat daar gekeer word. Skeieregter wys voordeel, dan gee hy die strafskop.
If he's going to penalize Whk Affies, discipline is key.
Indicating a tip tackle.
A tip tackle.
Afrikaanse woord is 'n boorvat
of
'n omdop duikslag, kan jy sê. So,
alright.
Not bringing the player down safely, dangerous tackle.
It's always very interesting, you know, as competitive as it is, as physical as it is, you still also need to take care of your opponent. And that's why I call it a gentleman's sport. Whk Gymnasium, oh, that's an unfortunate knock on Kambombo. Looks ready for a 4th try there, but it won't be so. However, the penalty is Gymnasium's. This time, they opt for touch off the boot of one Denver Beerkus. It's getting chilly. I'm sure the rugby players aren't feeling this, Andrew, but for you and I, it's a reality. Of course, you know, Affies looks at that scoreline. That might bring some chills. But they're still playing with heart, with commitment. And that's the spirit of the game.
Ja, goeie verligting daar van die skop van Mauro Tromp nadat hulle dan die bal teruggewen het daar van die lynstaan af.
Vap with the ball, this time swinging it wide. That was the moment that they tried to make the most of the efforts of Shelano Bessa. Play returns, Affies on the attack. About 10 minutes left in the half, 10 minutes left in the game. Affies getting it started the traditional way, through the forwards. Oh, Otto pushed back there. Whk Gymnasium stripping the ball, but referee is going to penalize them. It was not done legally. Tromp with the ball in hand. Second half has been much quieter for him, but the duties do continue.
Ja, van Mauro Tromp was definitief 'n ligpunt vandag in die span van Whk Affies en dan ook hulle voorspelers. Maar in die agterlyn nog heelwat werk wat vir hulle voorlê hierdie seisoen om voordat hulle lekker behoorlik aan die gang kan kom en hulle merk kan maak in die liga. Denver van 'n Beerkus wat daar 'n bietjie vir homself spasie maak. Dan maak hy reguit. Kry die heel agter Jan Rey van Sail. Slaan hier aan die steelkant. Geldenhuis wat die bal dra. Beerkus met die skoppie in die spasie in. En hy gaan uitrol in die kwartgebied. dis die Affies manne wat se koppe so 'n bietjie begin hang. 8 minute wat oorbly in die wedstryd. En Gymnasium wat dan definitief hierso volpunte aan hierdie wedstryd gaan kry. Van der Berg in sy eie kwartgebied daar met die lyn staan. Vind sy nommer 4 springer. En dit is Tromp. Die bal nie gaan uitskoppie. Awanga bring hom binne toe vir Van Zyl. Skop so dwarskop. Wat ook weer nie raak gevat word nie. Want is weer bietjie mekaar se pad. En dan is dit Jezreel Brown wat tog die bal uitskop. Hier so naby aan die 10 meter lyn.
Looks like off-screen Kombombo is being taken out. He was having issues with his legs.
Ja, so buite beeld. Surami Kambombo wat dan afgedra word, as ons hom so buite beeld sien. Nadat hy reeds 3-3 gedruk het, Kambombo een van die uitblinkers in hierdie wedstryd. Nommer 22 is aan Janko Brederden, nommer 22 wat daar in die skramskakelposisie van Gymnasium nou speel. Aanslaan van Denver Bekes. Wat nou waarskynlik uitgeskuif is na een van die weier posisies toe. Die laaste paar minute. Ja, beide afrigters wat dan nou van hulle reserves opstuur ook aan die kant van Whk Affies nommer 21 is Nico van Staden wat op die veld is. En is Affies se skram wat so 'n bietjie teruggedruk word.
Affies making use of the talents of Nico van Staden, currently in a scrum half. Hoping, at the very least, for a gentleman's score, which is all that's possible at this time. But as far as the W goes, it looks like it will belong to the boys in the black and red, otherwise known as the Lions, if I'm not mistaken. Shumba. You're saying it in Shona.
Ja, so afrigter Johan Simon van Whk Affies wat dan definitief nog 'n bietjie werk het hierdie seisoen as sy span weer die finaal wil haal soos laas jaar. Van Staden wat dan aan die regterkant toe steelkant probeer ombreek. Daar is die verdediging van Whk Gymnasium wat in plek is.
Referee is going to have a word.
Een baie tevrede afrigterspan van Whk Gymnasium wat ons daar behoort te sien. Maurits Tyrion, Abri Meiberg, Jaco Engels, Janeman Brandt. Afrigterspan van Whk Gymnasium. Baie goeie vertoning wat die eerste span vandag hier gelewer het, baie oortuigend wat hulle hierdie wedstryd gaan wen. As ons weer sien, hierdie skoppie van Denver Bekes wat 1-2 keer gewip het en Kambombo wat daar op vaart deurgekom het. En daar was geen keer nie.
Really fast-paced. As I say, the man with the jet shoes, 3 tries, is a solid offering to your mates. Affies still going through this game, 4 minutes left. But of course, I'm sure the coach is thinking about the next game by this time. Or before that, the first practice after this game. Tighten up that backline play. Work on keeping the ball in hand. And of course, perhaps continue to accentuate the roles of players like Ben Berger and Van der Merwe of Tromp. Gymnasium still going at it.
Ja, Rowan Achenbach wat 'n besige wedstryd gehad het. Daai wedstryd, daai bal is dan nie beheer op die grond nie. Staan daai bal aan af van die ingooi van Whk Affies, maar dit gaan te min wees en te laat as ons sien. Die hele reservebank wat dan opgestuur word vir Whk Affies vir die laaste, kom ons sê 3 minute. En miskien 'n bietjie beseringstyd.
About 3 minutes less. Yeah, 3 minutes left in this clash.
Ons kan miskien noem twee Premierliga wedstryde of Superliga onder 19 wedstryde wat môre gespeel word. Een is op Walvis Bay, Windhoek Hoërskool wat daar speel. Ander een is op Uchu waar PSG Pro Ed dan die besoekers gaan wees. Ja, so vir die soveelste keer vandag. Die dinge wat nie so lekker wil vlot wanneer Whk Affies die bal wyd gevat het nie.
Referee not happy with the chatter from Whk Gymnasium. He's going to punish them. You know, it takes a lot to be a humble winner and to know when to, you know, tone it down a bit. And sometimes the referee will need to remind you to watch the chats. It's going to be a VAP lineout. They have given the best they could today, at least. Of course, their best could be better. Affies coming down with the ball. We're hoping for more. That won't materialize. To the back line, it goes. Yet another knock-on from Affies. Andrew, we were talking about it. That's been a big stick in their play today. Affies trying to secure and maintain possession heading into the final minute of this game as they get a penalty awarded in their favor.
Nico van Staden, die skramskakel. Hy skop gaan vat. Hy gaan hom nie uitskop nie en hy gaan na binnekant toe wip. En Jan Ray van Sil die heel agter. Hy gaan hom maar net uitjaag. Baie min tyd wat oorloop in hierdie wedstryd.
Gymnasium not leaving anything to chance.
En gooi wat dan skeef was.
Players unaware there that the referee had stopped play.
Throw in not straight.
Likely to be the last play of the game. I've got a feeling that if they kick it out, Andrew, that ball might come directly to us. Just a sneaky feeling. But it's been a good outing for Whk Gymnasium. The scoreline says it all. 39 points, 3 tries coming from the feet, the legs, the jet shoes of one Kumbombo Surami. And of course the team facilitating that and filling in all the other points brings us to where we are. Whk Affies competitive to the very end. they'll have certainly more homework than Whk Gymnasium leaving this rugby game. Beginning of the first half, they managed to step up to the plate as equals. At the end of the second half, it seems like there will be one clear winner.
Seker nou vir die derde keer wat hulle dieselfde skram daar gaan vorm. Janko Bredenan, reserve skramskakel vir Windhoek Gymnasium.
Referee is going to penalize. Affies looking at a touch. Willing to play this through. Certainly respectable efforts.
Laswell Williams, wat hy skop gevat het kant en toe. Een laaste kans seker hier vir Affies om 'n troos 3 te probeer bewerkstellig. Maar
Affies gaining some grounds there. Referee's going to call it what it is. The end of the game, 39-13 is your full-time score. Whk Gymnasium taking that one. Whk Afrikaans Private with much, much more homework as they head into the rest of this season. If they hope to meet in the final, it's going to need to be better than this. But as of today, the winner is clear. Whk Gymnasium 39, Whk Afrikaans Private 13. You've been with the A-team, Andrew and Ashwin. Andrew, any thoughts from this game?
ja, so die Standard Bank Superliga wat nog 'n opwindende wedstryd hier gelewer het. Windhoek Gymnasium wat baie goed gespeel het. Baie meer akkuraat was. Die foute uitgebuit het dat ons aan die kant van Windhoek Affies gesien het. En so heel wat werk vir, soos ons maar gesê het vanaand, wat dan voorlê vir Windhoek Affies en hulle afrigter Johan Simon en JT besonder sy mede-afrigter.
Okay, Andrew, we'll finish your thoughts off after we go for this short ad. Is ready to chat with Ben Berger, who is the captain of Whk Afrikaans Private School.
Back maybe? Okay, well, Johan, mooi gespeel, lekker wedstrijd. Sê nou vir my, waar voel jy dit verkeerd gegaan vir julle?
Ek dink ons defense het 'n bietjie verkeerd gegaan in die eerste helfte. In die tweede helfte het ons 'n bietjie baie beserings gekry wat ons skimanne afgehaal het van die vrye wedstryd af. Ek dink dis wat 'n bietjie skeef geloop het vandag.
Was definitief 'n tough game. I mean, die tackles was hard van die begin af. Maar in die eerste helft het julle baie goed gespeel. Tweede helft was daar bietjie te veel knocks van julle se kant af. Die boys ek sien het bietjie gekonsentreer nie. Maar waar voel jy kon julle beter gedoen het in die wedstryd?
Ek dink ons kan ons defense nog beter opskerp in die wedstryd. Ons het ja, soos jy gesê het, die knocks was nog ons baie, so ons moet ons normale handskills net so 'n bietjie werk en dan sal ek dink ons reg weer maak.
Okay. Is dit die tweede wedstryd? I mean, daar's nog baie om voor te speel. So ek glo julle kan nie nog nou wil sê dit wees. Dit is net opstaan en nog vorentoe kyk vir die volgende wedstryd. Wat dink jy?
Nee, ek dink daar's nog verseker nog baie wedstryde. Ons moet nie nou al moed verloor nie. So ja, ons is reg vir die volgende wedstryd.
Russell, dankie.
Okay, ja, dankie.
Okay, well, we'll try and hear from the Whk Gymnasium captain now, just to hear what he has to say. Luister, groot wedstrijd, mooi gespeel, harde wedstrijd geweest. Stel het goed vir my, hoe was die wedstrijd vir julle?
Ja, my stem is weg, dus julle kan hoor. Ek is baie trots op die ouetjies. Hulle het baie goed gespeel en goed hard gewys. Ons het geweet Wap gaan eers 10 minute vir ons kom, so ons het besluit ons gaan eers 10 minute vir hulle gaan en dit het gewerk. Ons structures het gewerk en ek's baie trots op die span. En dankie coaches en almal wat teenwoordig is hierso.
Ek voel tactiek-wise het alles reg gegaan vandag. I mean, kom ons praat van Kabombo se try in die eerste helfte. Dit was definitief 'n mooi try. So ek glo is goed wat julle in training gedoen het. Maar waar voel jy dit reg gegaan vir julle in die wedstryd?
Donderdag het ons 'n harde of nie 'n lang oefensessie gehad nie, maar ons het alles solid gedoen. Ons het alles reg gedoen oefening en ons het daai attitude gevat en ons het daartoe gekom en dit het gewys.
Defending champions, hoe belangrijk was dit vir julle om die statement te maak en om teen Wap te wen vandag? En hoe goed gaan dit vir julle wees vorentoe in die tournament?
Het definitief ons confidence opgetel. Ja, Wap is 'n goeie kompetisie aan die begin van die seisoen om onsself te toets. So ek's trots, ja. Ek dankie sê aan Wap, hulle het mooi hard gewys. Ek's baie dankbaar.
Okay, nee, is reg, dankie.
Dankie.
Well, you heard them. You could hear the man in his voice. The voice is gone, but the team has won. Whk Gymnasium just showed that they are the team to beat in the NSSR Super League after showcasing world-class performances, as we saw with the likes of Kabombo scoring 3 tries for his team as they get away with the win. Back to you guys in studio.
So that was Brian Munango talking to the two captains, Johan Mouton and Stefan Gildenhuis. You know which one of those two captains is certainly happier. One of them has 6 tries, the other one had 1. Let's have a look at how the second half transpired. All right, Kotze yet again had some opportunities to kick the ball over the post, and this was one of the times that he converted. A potent player throughout this game for Whk Gymnasium, and it paid off for them. This was the one try that came through for Whk Afrikaans Privaat School, and that was Walter Otto. And the kicker was one Phantom Merve Tromp, whose efforts in this game can certainly not be overshadowed. Whk Afrikaans Privaat School doing their best to get themselves back in this game rather, but it was knock-on after knock-on at some point, and it was too much of a deficit for them to be able to clear it. Of course, Afrikaans Privaat School continued knocking on heaven's door, mostly done in their own half, and doing their best to maintain any semblance of momentum, which just simply was not the case, as Whk Gymnasium's attack and defense seemed to have an answer to all of Affies' efforts. Just looking at Kabombo yet again, we're actually going to have a conversation with him just now with Brian Munango. Kabombo was the fast-paced winger who made sure that 3 tries came from his efforts, 2 of them connecting from one Denver Bierkas. Team chemistry can certainly take you a long way. Gymnasium had no issues continuing to assert themselves.
Well, I am joined by the hat-trick hero himself, Sorami. Hat-trick vir jouself vandag. Man of the match most probably. Hoe was die wedstryd vir jou?
Wel, dit was 'n harde game. Ons het hard gespeel, goed begin. Ek kan nie my tries op my familie self sê nie, my spanmaats my tries laat druk en God het my talent laat op die veld laat speel.
I mean, jy's baie passionate as jy altyd met jou span speel. Ek sien as jy miskien agtergedruk word, as jy altyd jy skree altyd vir ons. Jy sê altyd ons kom ons push in die wedstryd. Maar sê gou vir my, hoe belangrik was dit vir julle om die wedstryd te wen en hoe voel jy oor die performance in vandag se wedstryd?
Dit was 'n baie belangrike game vir ons, like mentally, want laas week by die momentum toernooi toe speel ons baie sleg as 'n span. Ons kon nie lekker gel nie. En toe maandag het ons 'n video sessie en ons gaan deur ons foute en toe dis hele week dis het gewerk na vandag toe. So vandag was 'n groot ding vir die span om die collision tussen die boys weer reg te kry en die confidence weer hoog te kry. Ek wil nie sê die wen, dit was 'n groot wen nie. Dit was 'n okay wen, maar dit is tog 'n liga vir ons. Ons vat 'n step by step. Die game is agter ons, volgende week is wie hy is.
Okay. Kyk, wat was in die final saam met julle laas jaar? Hoe belangrik was dit vir julle om die wen te kry teen hulle om te wys julle is nog die span om te slaan in die Superliga?
Wel, ek wil nie so sê nie. Ons moet humble bly. Laas jaar, dit was hierdie jaar 'n ander span. Ons nog steeds dieselfde mentaliteit en alle danke aan Wap, hulle het hard gekom, hulle het hard gespeel. Ons almal daar ons beste gegee, maar soos ek gesê het, ons het wat meer gesoek. Dis ons home field op die Lions Den wen jy nie maklik nie.
Op die Lions Den wen jy nie maklik nie. Well, congrats met die hat-trick soos ek jou gesê het. Definitely a man of the match performance. And yeah, well, back to you guys in studio. We just heard from the hat-trick hero himself.
Oh, that was Kambombo. 3 tries of his efforts. Certainly the man of the match in many people's eyes. Kambombo with those 3 tries being quite the difference maker. Andrew, briefly take us into the upcoming clashes.
Ja, so as van Saterdag 2 wedstryde wat dan gespeel word. Een is op Uchu en die een is op Walvis Bay. Op Uchu is dit dan Whk Foods Moria privaat skool wat teen PSG Pro uit gaan speel. Daai wedstryd is 12:00 môre middag.
All right. Well, from Andrew Pullman and the Ashwin Berries, the A-team, Whk Gymnasium 39, Whk Afrikaans Privaat School 13, NSSR Rugby League, live on NTV. Don't you ever miss the action.